Welcome to this edition of Attention Talk Video. I'm your host, Attention Coach Jeff Copper, and we're here today with Melissa Orloff. Melissa, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
You are a marriage consultant, right?
Yes, I am.
What does a marriage consultant do?
I work with couples specifically who are impacted by ADHD, and I try to give them strategies both for healing their emotional issues and also for dealing with the ADHD better.
And as a consultant and a therapist, what would really be the difference of that?
The difference is that I'm not trained as a therapist.
Okay.
I make sure everybody understands that my educational background is different from that, so that's why I differentiate it.
Now, you do a lot of working with couples, and you speak from personal experience, is that right?
I do, indeed. That's how I got started, actually. I got interested in the topic and then decided to start talking with other couples about what it was all about, and then got going.
So on the job learning and training, and then you figured it all out afterwards and said, I need to share this with everybody. Is that right?
That's exactly it. So we started out, and then I was working with Ned Hallowell, actually, and doing a lot of work with ADHD. And so that's how I got started.
Now, when you're working with couples, you describe there's 3 levels of healing.
Right.
There's the overcoming denial. Is that the first?
So there's 3 stages that couples go through in the sort of arc of how they heal their relationship. So the first is overcoming denial. The second one is what I call all the hard work, which is putting all of the strategies in place and getting them to work for them. And then the third level is adding back in the romance and the connection that they've been missing.
Now, I get the second level is probably a lot of structure and a lot of work. But my sense is the denial part is probably the most difficult to get by. Is that inaccurate?
No, actually, well, they're different. So I have this saying, which is, it's not actually ADHD that causes divorce, it's denial that causes divorce. Because if you have ADHD and you know you have it and you admit it and you take ownership of it and start to treat it, the statistics show that you can treat it. I mean, it's manageable. But if either partner, either the ADHD partner or the non-ADHD partner, is in denial about their own role, then things never move forward.
Now, when you say denial, I think that some viewers might assume that maybe are you denying that the ADD is there, or there's what's kind of going on? I think there might be a tendency to kind of look at the ADD person, but it's denial on both sides. Is that right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So on the non-ADD partner, or sometimes it's a more organized ADHD partner, also it could be either one. There's also denial about their own role. So it always takes 2 people, not one, to make a relationship have problems. And there's a symptom response cycle where you have an ADHD symptom which sort of starts things off. But then depending upon that response from that partner, it can go a completely different direction. So you need to learn about the role that those responses play. And I'm not trying to ever encourage somebody to cover up how they're feeling, but there are healthy responses and unhealthy responses, and you have to figure out how to get more healthy responses in.
So I like what you said about the what was it? What a response?
Symptom response.
It
might not be catchy enough. I'm not sure.
Been a long day. But what's interesting to me is that the denial is that those with ADD also would have to say, listen, I'm not in denial of my ADD. It's there. It's not my heart and soul, but it's something that's affected me. And then the other partner, not denial, that they're playing a role in some of that. Is that
right?
Okay.
Well, so it's a little different. It's the denial, the ADHD denial. There's a couple things. First of all, I don't have ADD. That's a different issue. But once you say you have ADD, there's an area where you say, I got it, but it's not such a big deal. Your anger, for example, that you're exhibiting is much more important in this relationship. If you would just be nice to me, everything would be fine. That's a form of denial. It doesn't recognize the role that the ADD is playing in the anger, whatever that is. And B, it just simply, it doesn't understand how significant that is.
Last part is really the key, the hard part. And as in your experience working with people, how do you know you got through the denial part, or how do people get there? I mean, it just seems to me like there's probably many roads traveled on this to get there, but just can you share our thoughts on that?
So one is that both members of the couple have to be much more educated about what ADHD does in the relationship and what it looks like, and then they have to take ownership of taking their part. So you understand you cannot fix your ADHD partner, and your ADHD partner cannot fix you. You have to take control of it yourself. And as soon as you see both of those things, a genuine internalizing that, okay, it's my job to take care of my problems, and my problems are really important to take care of, that's when you can move on to the next stage.
So, in a weird sense, it's that moment where you sit and focus and say, listen, this situation, I can only handle myself. I need to focus on me and quit worrying about the other person at that point in time. And when that happens, at some point in both times you're doing it, then you're through that and you can kind of move forward. Is that
Right. And
so,
couples typically don't hit it at the same time.
yep.
It's not a, oh
Yep,
yeah, let's
yep,
both
yep,
do this.
yep.
One person typically gets there sooner, and they go ahead and they start doing their changes that they need to make, and hopefully the
Yep.
other person catches up.
And so just my takeaway from this, which is the powerful part, is if you're there, it's that letting go and going inside and saying, I got to focus on what I can do,
Right.
and quit being externally focused. That's a tough shift for a lot of people. But
Yeah.
when that happens, then you can kind of move on. That's gold. But if that never happens, then it seems to me
Nothing
that
changes.
you got to get over that part first. So,
Yeah, that's it.
well, Melissa, thank you very much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.